Pro Football Hall of Fame, Canton, Ohio. Roger Goodell's Christmas Stories chair from the draft. Of course, the GOAT LT, Reggie White, Joe Montana, the other guys over here walking through the hallway.
And few players had contracts or loyalty to a single team. Some pros would barnstorm on weekends, playing with different teams in different cities to earn an extra paycheck. Then, in one dramatic stroke, the NFL emerged from obscurity. In 1925, hours after his final game at Illinois, Harold Red Grange signed with the Chicago Bears and immediately drew the largest crowds the NFL had ever seen. The next year, Grange unsuccessfully attempted to leverage his fame into an ownership stake for a team in New York, and it became clear that Joe Carr's tenure as commissioner would be one in which the league was more important than the superstar.
Here is President Carr signing and presenting the franchise, Cy Houston, manager of the Detroit team.
That isn't to say there weren't standouts. Some of the most talented players in NFL history were active during the period.
Jimmy Dupe,
Jim Thorpe, Don Hudson, and Slingin' Sammy Baugh. By the time Joe Carr passed away in 1939, he left behind a stabilized league. Franchise mobility and attrition had stopped, and 10 vibrant teams were located in many of the nation's largest cities. Roselle was a promotional wizard who saw that network television could energize a sport whose popularity had fluctuated from region to region. Under his leadership and the glare of the camera lens, pro football became a national phenomenon. Players like Jim Brown and Dick Butkus gained a mythical stature as modern-day gladiators. Roselle presided over some of the most important structural changes in league history. He brokered a deal among the clubs whereby they would pool their broadcast television rights and share the revenue equally. He orchestrated the AFL-NFL merger and oversaw the creation of sport's biggest spectacle, the Super Bowl. In his 30 seasons as commissioner, Roselle also witnessed the emergence of 3 distinct dynasties. Vince Lombardi's Packers of the 1960s won 5 titles in 7 years, behind basic game plans that were perfectly executed. An uncanny blend of power and grace, Chuck Noll's Steelers of the 70s won 4 Super Bowls in 6 seasons. In the 1980s, the 49ers also won 4 Super Bowls, utilizing the precision passing attack of Bill Walsh's West Coast offense.
I've seen great change and growth late, and it's been a great 30 years.
By the time Rozelle retired in 1989, the NFL had more than doubled in size from 13 teams to 28. And pro football's place in the American cultural landscape was no longer in doubt.
The taste is gone already. Sorry. 24 months will be all right. So have you ever been to Cleveland, Indians?
Year-by-year records, the Giants are the fourth one. Fourth one down. Point the years too. Light's shading it, but the team photo for the 2018 Giants, they don't have the photo for 2019-2020. Look at some of these faces. Eli, OBJ, Kyle Orlando, Jesus Christ. And in here, Pat, Olivier Vernon. I could probably name most of these people. If you guys can, then it's a real Giant fan right there. Somewhere you're gonna have the other coaches as well. It's unfortunate they don't have 2020. So they communicate to the players, so let's step back a little bit. You can hear that sound. There's Romo, Dalton, and Harbaugh. Hear it. Some mic noises in there. Yeah, turn this down. Actually, wait. Okay, so seems like this is the one that's working the best. I just want to know why the bottom was in the Hall of Fame. Got Tom Brady, Troy Aikman, Brady Nitschke, and then Steve Young. I have to admit it, he's the GOAT, even though Eli beat him twice. Two of these guys are broadcasters now, Aikman and Young, one for Fox, one for ESPN. So this is the replay section. I remember this play, 2018, when Shepard put his knee on the ground, they reviewed it. So the replay exhibit, so I think you get to make a call yourself. It's pretty cool. That's gonna burn Steeler fans. All right, so you know what? Let's do this one. Okay, we need to see that again. 60 seconds to make the decision. Let's take this. Okay, so looks like he has control. I gotta make it within a minute, so that might be the worst ref of all time, depending on this. Does he go down? That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. It gets the ball over the goal line. Let's see this one again. No, he has control. Yeah, that's a touchdown. Going on the field. No, I'm sorry. We gotta. Yeah, exactly. Let's do one more. looks down. Well, the elbow looks down, so it is going to be. They called it a fumble on the field. We're going to reverse the ruling right now. I made the right call. I have the credentials to become an NFL official.
NFL films helped pro football attain pop culture status by using visuals and voices that provided fans with an intimate relationship to the game.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys. Count me, Ronnie. Count me.
Primetime broadcasts made pro football as much about entertainment as about athletic endeavor. ABC's Monday Night Football was a television phenomenon.
Buffalo seems to be achieving its purpose, but in a dubious way.
Pro football also came into the American home through board games like electric football. Electrifying players like Cleveland's Jim Brown demonstrated the widespread cultural appeal of the sport and the athletes who played it. Brown made a smooth transition from NFL rushing leader to Hollywood leading man, but he wasn't the first ball carrier to show he could carry a movie. During the 1920s, Red Grange appeared in films and was also pro football's most prolific product pitchman. During the 50s, Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch starred in his own biopic. High-profile pros like Crazy Legs and Frank Gifford were in demand for commercial endorsements.
And I ready to go for Ovaltine's chocolate flavor. Right again, Crazy Legs. Hey, Joe, are you still using that greasy kid stuff on your hair? What else? Right, tell us. That's what else.
While quarterbacks like Otto Graham were often the go-to guys for Madison Avenue, the Goliaths, as well as the Glamour Boys, made an impact on advertising.
You're looking at Les Bates, 320 pounds of dynamite, famous as a lineman of the Detroit Lions. And here, mounted on the lineman's walking sled, is Ford's new Right Guard Series. Watch what happens when these two tanks.
As the game became increasingly popular, it wasn't unusual to see players such as John Arnett delivering punchlines on TV variety shows.
They call you Crazy Hips? Yeah, what about it? No?
In the 60s and 70s, Joe Namath was a multimedia sensation. Namath's image as a ladies' man helped create one of the most memorable commercials of the era.
Joe Namath in Beauty Mist pantyhose? Yes, we did it to prove the Beauty Mist can make any legs look like $1 million.
Now, I don't wear pantyhose, but a Beauty Mist can make my legs look good. Imagine what they'll do for yours.
In recent years, several NFL superstars have handled hosting duties on Saturday Night Live, the long-running TV series that has long been a barometer of American pop culture. The NFL has also gone big on reality TV.
I love the NFL, and I can't wait to see, what we're going to do, and maybe there'll be some players here. Clay Matthews is one of the toughest linebackers that play the game right now. He's just a beast. People fear going up against this guy.
Over the years, the mainstreaming of pro football can be measured by the size of the crowds and the celebrities in attendance.
Vice President Nixon is among the jam-packed crowd.
The refrigerator! The Super Bowl is an entertainment spectacle that commands America's attention like no other event. Sure, it's only a game, but the compelling mix of action, suspense, and human drama make for what is the most forceful representation of pro football as popular culture.
Many NFL personnel believed the no huddle would work as a base offense, but Bengals head coach Sam Weish proved otherwise.
I figured, why don't people use the no huddle other than the last 2 minutes of the game or the half? Should be an offensive advantage. Starting in 84, we did a lot of it. 85, we almost did it exclusively. In 86, we were the no huddle.
In the no huddle, the quarterback would call plays at the line of scrimmage, which prevented defenses from making the proper substitutions and play calls. The Bengals defeated the Buffalo Bills in the 1988 AFC Championship on their way to Super Bowl 23. Bills head coach Marv Levy adopted the system and called it the K-Gun offense. Buffalo became a scoring juggernaut and went to 4 straight Super Bowls from 1990 to 1993. Born from simple necessity, it's hard to find athletic down linemen. The 3-4 requires a nose tackle to occupy the A-gap, with 2 defensive ends at the line of scrimmage and 4 linebackers who can rush as well as drop into coverage. Chuck Fairbanks is generally credited with bringing the 3-4 to the NFL. In 1974, the head coach of the New England Patriots used it as a full-time base defense, and within 2 years, took his team to the playoffs. The NFL is a copycat league, and in 1976, the Oakland Raiders took the 3-4 to Super Bowl 11, becoming the first team to use that alignment to win the championship. In the 1980s, the 3-4's most famous rushing linebacker came to prominence.
The GOAT. LT.
Lawrence Taylor was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year and had 7 straight seasons with double-digit sacks in the 3-4 system.
Sean's gonna hate me for this, but I don't care. Nope.
Broncos 10 Tebow, perfect strike for an 80-yard touchdown to beat the Steelers in overtime.
I have to burn my team with this one, but
Trailing the Giants by 4 in the final seconds, the Eagles snatched victory from certain defeat.
could have just kneeled it. Nice characters over here. Joe Montana, Dan Rooney, Howie Long, let's see, Jim Kelly, quarterback for the Bills, Ronnie Lott. There's one over here. John Elway, of course. Barry Sanders. We walk over here. We got the GOAT. Lawrence Taylor. Walking down. Mike Munchak, the Broncos O-line coach. Induction years through the 70s. Vince Lombardi, Ryan Tittle. Let's see who else. The GIF, Frank Gifford, Ray Flaherty as well. Steelers coach Chuck Noll, Bill Walsh, Walter Payton, and Dan Fouts. Let's see who else we got here. What's going on, y'all? Just decided to do a small recap of this whole Pro Football Hall of Fame vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed it. With that being said, I enjoyed it myself. 5 out of 5. Definitely worth the $28. So worth it. I thought there were a lot of cool exhibits. The previous day I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I was mad on it, even though I'm a rock and roll person. Some of you guys may know, may not know, whatever. I thought the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you can't compare the two, but I thought the Pro Football Hall of Fame was much better. I thought it had a lot more detail, included, everybody a part of the conversation, whether from the Giants fan base, stuff like that. They had the heads for every time someone is inducted. They had something that's not included in the video. You couldn't take a video of, but it was a theater section, like locker room. Like you're in a locker room doing this, that, and the other thing, and it's like a theater. Joe Namath is actually a hologram, and he's talking to you, trying to guide you through the game of life, and tells you many people's different stories. Warren Moon is one of them. There's a couple other guys in there, and also 2 guys also come back as holograms. Obviously, they both passed away so many years ago, but I think it was George Hallis and Vince Lombardi. They were talking to you as well as holograms. I thought it was very nice, a very creative exhibit. Probably one of my favorites. Also, the instant replay. I know the NFL referees are known to suck, but that was also interesting as well. Obviously, saw the picture of what I put on the pads and stuff like that, and the shoulder shit. I thought that was cool, and I also thought that when you were learning the schemes of how they were, implementing stuff like that, and also the communication through the headphones in the helmet, I thought that was pretty cool as well. And as a gift to myself, which I'll be hanging in my room very shortly, probably by my bed, I bought myself a New York Giants man cave flag. I think it's damn cool. I was originally going to get one of them stop signs that says, you're in Giants country, stop, for like opposing fan bases and stuff, but I decided, you know what, the flag is better. I share a room with the Jets fans, so that has to be coming into play as well. But hope you guys liked the video. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification button so you get notified when the live stream pops, video drops. More content coming out throughout the week. Hopefully this comes out on the Monday, then I presume. If not, it comes out on the Tuesday. No Boys in the Big Apple. Till Wednesday, likely. I want to get it out on that day because we haven't discussed sports in 3 weeks. So, with that being said, guys, hope you like the video. Peace out.